Hello everyone and welcome to the Thastu ICS. My name is Trija Garg and I am your economy faculty. Today is episode 3 in which we will be discussing priority number 2 of the union budget. यानी कि हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं दूसरी प्रायोरिटी जो कि हमारे बजट की है इस साल की, दैट इज 2024 से 2025 तक की, और वो है एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड स्किलिंग. आई होप यू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट वीडियो कि हमारा जो थीम इस बार का है, द थीम ऑफ दिस ईयर्स बजट इज एम्प्लॉयमेंट, स्किलिंग, MSMEs and middle class. तो अब एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड स्किलिंग के लिए व्हाट विल द गवर्नमेंट डू, हाउ विल द गवर्नमेंट क्रिएट जॉब्स, यू मस्ट नो अबाउट दिस. आपको ये बात पता होनी चाहिए कि जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट है हमारी यूथ बहुत ज़्यादा है ना, तो हमारा फोकस एरिया जो विमेन यूथ का आता है वो भी यहाँ से कवर हो जाएगा. ओके तो अब अगर हम यूथ को यूज कर ले, ठीक है, इफ वी स्टार्ट यूजिंग द यूथ वी हैव टू क्रिएट जॉब्स फॉर देम so that they earn a decent amount of income. That income will increase the spending. That spending will generate demand. Demand will generate production. Production will lead to economic growth. That is the GDP growth. है ना? So सब कुछ interconnected है. Everything is interconnected and the government just stimulates it. Okay, the government just facilitates it. So let us understand what the government will be doing when we talk about the priorities for Viksit Bharat, that is the developed India by 2047. What will the government do to generate employment? And एक और चीज है, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम जो हमारे कंट्री में है, and that is the job opportunities and the skilling gap. People, the youth aren't trained a lot. They are, उनकी एजुकेशन बहुत कम है, उनकी स्किलिंग बहुत कम है, जिसकी वजह से जॉब्स नहीं मिल पाती है. They are unable to get the jobs, right? So government will also work towards that as well to enhance their skills. When the government actually spends money on education, when the government spends money on skilling, we are converting human resource into human capital formation. We are creating a human capital which will in turn add more to our output, that is the economic growth. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. The first thing is, I hope you remember from the first lecture, from the first episode when we discussed the focus and the theme, we have PM's package. Okay, we have 5 schemes PM's package, 4 will be discussed in this. Okay, one is employment linked incentive. This is employment linked incentive. Basically, to generate the employment, the government will be providing certain incentives to employees also, yani ki people who are working, and employers also, yani ki people who are hiring. Okay, so we have 3 schemes under employment linked incentives. The first scheme, that is the scheme A, is for the first timers. Now, आपको पता होगा the most of our population, most of our youth is actually engaged in informal sectors. Okay, यानी कि 90% से ज़्यादा लोग they are involved in informal sectors and we want to convert them into formal sectors. So that is the first thing that the government is trying to do. So for the first timers who are getting into the workforce for the first time, the government will provide them 1 month wage to new entrants in all formal sectors in 3 installments up to 15,000 rupees. यानी कि पहली बार में आप जॉब स्टार्ट कर रहे हो फॉर्मल सेक्टर में, तो आपको 1 महीने में यू विल गेट 15,000 rupees which will be divided into 3 installments. Okay, तो आपको 15,000 रुपए मिलेंगे. What is the eligibility? Up to 1 lakh. If your salary is up to 1 lakh, not more than that, up to 1 lakh, you will be able to avail this scheme. This is expected to benefit 210 lakh youth. Okay. Then comes scheme B, that is job creation in manufacturing. अब why would someone hire? पहले हम समझते हैं about the production. Production के लिए why does the firm produce? To earn profits. How will they earn profit? When the gap between their revenue and their cost is too much. That means their cost is less and their revenue is more. Now they want to decrease the cost. Labor adds to the cost, so they want to decrease their labor cost. So linked to the first time employees. This is also linked to the first time employees only who are actually entering the workforce. Incentive to both employee and employer for EPFO contribution. अब employment provident fund में आपको पता है the employer is the one who is contributing in the fund, right? So in the specified scales for the first 4 years. So basically the government will provide both of them the contribution. The government will be providing EPFO. Okay, expected to benefit 30 lakh youth. इससे क्या हुआ, लेबर कॉस्ट कम हुई because government is providing instead of the employer who is hiring. Okay, and obviously the first time employee is also getting provident fund. Okay, then we have scheme C, that is support to the employers, means people who are hiring. गवर्नमेंट विल रीइम्बर्स EPFO, यानी कि आप जो भी कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हो, एम्प्लॉयज का जो भी कंट्रीब्यूशन हो रहा है फॉर द एम्प्लॉयज प्रोविडेंट फंड, दैट विल बी रीइम्बर्स्ड गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट बैक टू द एम्प्लॉयज अप टू 3,000 रुपीज पर मंथ. अप टू 3,000 आपको वापस मिल जाएगा फॉर 2 years फॉर ऑल न्यू हायर्स. इट मीन्स मोर इंसेंटिव फॉर एम्प्लॉयर्स टू हायर मोर पीपल. सो दिस इज डूइंग व्हाट, क्रिएटिंग मोर जॉब्स इन द इकोनॉमी. ओके, एक्सपेक्टेड टू जनरेट 50 lakh jobs. This will, government has an estimate that this will generate around 50 lakh jobs. So abhi what we are doing is, first we'll go through this broadly, then we will discuss the benefits for the economy as well. Okay, now these are the 3 schemes. Employment linked incentives, basically to generate new employment, that is one of the themes of our budget, that is employment. And another thing is that basically we will be our focus areas, that is the youth, we will be focusing more on them so that they get jobs. Their personal disposable income will also increase. What is personal disposable income? We will discuss all of that. So these are the 3 things which will create jobs, and the incentives is being provided by the government. Then let us talk about the skilling program. As I told you, there is a huge problem with the skilling program, because not the skilling program but the skilling. The youth is not skilled as per the industrial demand. So 20 lakh youth will be skilled over a 5-year period. कैसे skilled होंगे? 1,000 industrial training institutes, ITI, there are a lot of ITIs in different states, will be upgraded in hub and spoke. What is hub and spoke? Let me tell you what is hub and spoke. So these industrial institutes, they actually train the youth. Okay, so जब youth को वो train करते हैं तो उससे क्या होता है, skills upgrade होती हैं. What happens is, the gap between the industrial demand and the skills, they are matched, and people generate more employment, they get employment, and also an unemployment rate also gets down. Okay, now hub and spoke is basically, there will be one center, that is one hub, and we will have different institutes connected to it, which will work same as the hub. These are known as spokes. Okay, so hub and spoke model. So we will have one center, one hub, and all the spokes will be following it. So this is hub and spoke model. Okay, so 1,000 industrial training institutes hai abhi hamare paas, so they will be upgraded into this. We will have one center and every spoke will be added to it. Arrangement with outcome orientation, course content and design aligned as per the skills need of industry. So whatever these institutes are actually teaching, वो सारा का सारा course curriculum and everything, and the designing of the course will, everything will be aligned as per the industrial demand, so that there is no gap between the skills and the demand of the industry. Okay, this is our 4th, and this is the 4th scheme of the PM's package. There are 5, so this is 4th. These are the 3, this is the 4th one. Then we have facilitate higher participation of women. Now you know that our labor force participation of women is very less. Though it has improved, but it is still very less. In the workforce, through setting up of working women hostels in collaboration with industries and established creches. So basically what is happening is, why are women unable to participate in the labor force? One is security problem. They need a more safer environment. So for that, the government will actually, they will set up hostels so that it becomes easier for the women to actually participate in the labor force. The other one is creches. For example, they have children, they have child, so the government will provide that as well, so that what is happening, their child care is taken care there. Okay, so now they will be easily available to enter the workforce participation. How will this help the economy? More youth. One, gender equality तो आ गई, उसके साथ women भी participate करेंगी in the employment, generate more economic growth, that is more production for our nation. Okay, and gender equality भी आ गई, empowerment भी हो गया, they become more financially independent as well, they will also earn money. Now we have the 6th one, loans up to 7.5 lakh will with a guarantee from a government promoted fund, expected to help 25,000 students every year. Okay, okay, ठीक है. So when we talk about the 7.5 lakh, this is for basically skilling loans. Okay, तो ये जो loans है, ये किस लिए हो रहे हैं? Because you know that a lot of population, a lot of the youth, they have financial problems, because of which they are unable to take advanced skilling programs. So the government has raised this from 1.50 lakhs to 7.50, now up to 7.50 lakhs. Okay, यानी कि 7.5 लाख रुपए तक के कोर्सेज दे कैन डू, और उसमें भी इंटरेस्ट रेट भी काफी ज्यादा कम होगा, ठीक है। तो उससे स्किलिंग बढ़ेगी, प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, अगेन लीडिंग टू इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ ऑल्सो, एंड ऑब्वियसली स्किलिंग ऑफ द यूथ इज ऑल्सो बीइंग मेट, ऑल्सो फोकसिंग ऑन द यूथ एंड थीम स्किलिंग बीइंग मेट. Financial support for loans up to 10 lakh for higher education in domestic institutions. Okay, now for higher education also the youth will be able to get loans up to 10 lakh rupees, direct e-vouchers to 1 lakh students every year, and annual interest subvention of 3%. When we say annual interest subvention, basically they will be given e-vouchers and the interest rate जो होगा loan पे, उस पे 3% loan जो है वो 3% of interest rate will be given by the government, so that interest rate का जो burden है वो कम हो जाए on the students. Okay, so all of this is doing what? All of this is actually creating jobs. So we have job creation, we have skill development, we are also working on education of the youth, right? One thing, this is happening. Another thing, we are focusing more on the youth, and we are also focusing more on the women. Okay, so what are we doing? One, empowering them. Two, we are increasing the productivity in the economy. Three, leading to more economic growth, more inclusive development for the country, right? So this is what we are doing with all the second priority, that is the employment and skilling. Now let us study this in detail. We have the first timers. This is the 3 schemes of PM package, right? Scheme A, we've already discussed. What are we getting? Provides 1 month wage to first time employees entering the workforce in formal sector. Direct benefit transfer of 1 month salary in 3 installments, that is rupees 15,000 up to 15,000. Eligibility limit, that is the limit, okay, is the salary of 1 lakh rupees. Then we have expected to benefit to 10 lakh youth. What is the benefit? This will boost the formal employment, because increase the formal workforce. As I told you, more than 90% of our youth is employed in informal sector. Increased disposable income. What is disposable income? When we have paid all our taxes, non-tax payments, we've done everything, whatever amount is left to dispose of, means either we consume that income or we save that income. या तो हम consume करेंगे या save करेंगे, है ना? तो वो भी हमारी अब बढ़ जाएगी. अगर वो बढ़ेगी तो उससे क्या होगा? Demand बढ़ेगी in the economy. Tax base expansion, because now more and more youth will be employed in the formal sector. Obviously they will be paying taxes to the government. Now the government will have more revenue. That revenue can be used again for the public, that is the citizens of the country. Productivity gains, because obviously they've entered the formal sector, they have the security, their productivity will also increase, which will drive the overall economic growth of our country. Okay, let's talk about scheme B, that is the job creation in manufacturing. What is the government doing? Incentivizes additional employment, specifically in the manufacturing sector, provides incentives linked to EPFO contributions for first time employees and for the first 4 years of their employment. Expected to benefit 30 lakh youth entering employment and their employees also. What is the benefit? Industrial growth. You know that small industries in the manufacturing unit is very, very important for us, for exports also, and to expand our industrial sector, to become more self-reliant. So this will lead to more industrial growth, crucial for economic development and exports. Skill development, now because for 4 years you are given the incentive, it means the people will be employed for long term. This incentive will promote skill development of the people and retention in the manufacturing sector. So people will not get laid off very easily. They will be retained in the manufacturing sector, which will again lead to more production, hence economic growth. Then we have enhanced productivity. Increased workforce can lead to higher production capacity of the company or the manufacturing firm and efficiency. Competitive advantage. Now because the labor cost will be low due to government incentive, it can make Indian manufacturing more competitive globally, because cost decreases, prices will also decrease of the goods and services. They will be able to compete with the global goods and services at the global market. Okay, क्योंकि सस्ता खरीदना चाहते हैं सब always, right? Then we have scheme C, support to employers, covers additional employment in all sectors. Government reimburses employers up to rupees 3,000 per month for EPFO contributions for each additional employee for 2 years. So basically this incentive is being provided to the employers. So हर 2 साल के लिए आप क्या करोगे? अगर किसी नए इंसान को आप हायर करते हो तो गवर्नमेंट आपका जो EPFO में जो contribution है, गवर्नमेंट will reimburse that up to 3,000 per month. Okay, so this is aimed at incentivizing the employment of 50 lakh persons. Benefits: job creation across sectors, enhances the economic diversity. Okay, all the people from the country will be employed, and resilience also. Lower operational cost: reimbursement reduces the financial burden on the employer, which will encourage them to hire more people. Higher workforce participation: more job opportunities will be created in all the sectors, which will lead to increased workforce participation and reduce our unemployment rates. क्योंकि क्यों लोग हायर नहीं करते हैं? The firms don't hire if their cost of production increases, that is the cost of hiring labor increases, and that is what the government is focusing on. वो cost ही कम कर रहे हैं. Then we have economic stimulus, because people will have money, they will have jobs now, they will not be unemployed, so national consumption will start to rise, that is the consumer spending will rise, demand will increase, which will lead to economic growth, because as demand increases, the production increases, GDP increases, and economic growth increases. Okay, also the expenditure on the goods will also increase. Now, participation of the women in workforce: we will set up working women hostels in collaboration with the industry, not solely by the government. We will establish creches to support working mothers, organize women-specific skilling programs, promote market access for women, self-help groups, okay, enterprises. So, you know what are self-help groups? Women, 15-20 women together, they work towards one goal. So, we will help them. If they are producing something, we will help them promote their goods in the market, okay, and sell also. What is the benefit for the economy? Higher female labor participation rate, labor force participation rate, because now the women will be able to join and stay in workforce. Gender equality, inclusive economic growth. क्या होता है inclusive economic growth? What is inclusive development? That we are using every citizen of the country is able to contribute a part of a part in the production of the goods and services. Empowerment: empower women economically, because now they will be earning money, leading to improved social outcomes also, right? Societal जो expectations होती हैं वो भी change हो जाएंगी. उसके अलावा the violence that they face, the abuse that they face, that will also decrease, because now they will become more economically independent. क्योंकि अभी क्या होता है, they are more dependent on the male counterparts. अब आता है हमारा enhanced productivity, diverse workplaces, because now the workplaces will become diverse, okay, with women and men both will benefit from varied perspectives, more perspectives, leading to innovation and productivity gains, right? These are the 5 things. Then we have skilling program, 4th scheme, centrally sponsored scheme. What is the difference between centrally sponsored and central sector? So basically, centrally sponsored is that it is implemented by the state government, but the central government is providing the funds in some ratio. Okay, so that is centrally sponsored for skilling in collaboration with the state government. It is the responsibility of the state government to implement it, and the funds are divided between the two, and industry. Aims to skill 20 lakh youth over 5 years. So we have industrial training institutes upgrading 1000 ITs in hub and spoke model, as I told you, course content aligned with industry needs and emerging requirements. What will be the benefits for the economy? Skilled workforce, more skilled workforce for the economy, again increasing the productivity and innovation. Employment opportunities, this improves the employability of the youth, because now they are matching the requirements of the industry. They will be more skilled, reducing unemployment and underemployment. What do you mean by underemployment? Basically, आप ऐसे employed हो that you are not working at your full potential. That is underemployment. Okay. Economic development, skilled labor force attracts investments also. Now you know that foreign countries, let's talk about MNCs. They would want to invest in our country if we have more skilled labor force and at reasonable rate. So now if we have more skilled labor force, they will come invest money here, driving industrial and economic growth as well. Long-term growth, continuous upgradation of skills ensures sustained economic development and competitiveness in the global market. Clear? Now we have skilling loans. Revision of the model skill loan scheme. So we have a model skill loan scheme in which earlier it was 1.5 lakh rupees, now it is 7.5 lakh rupees. The youth can facilitate loans up to 7.5 lakh rupees. Government promoted fund guarantees the loans. Okay, government का fund है, वहाँ से ही loans निकलेगा. Expected to help 25,000 students every year. ये problem क्यों आता है? Basically with the people who have financial problems and they are unable to get or avail highly advanced skilling programs or courses. So this will access to education, lead to access of education. Easier access to loans enables more individuals to pursue skill development courses. Economic mobility also means better job opportunities they will be able to get, and they will not have to work at very low paying jobs, okay, or casual laborers. Increase higher earnings contributing to economic stability. Workforce competitiveness, a well-trained workforce improves the overall competitiveness of the economy. Financial inclusion, involvement of more individuals in the formal financial system, because if they are earning more amount of money, they will save it in the banking system as well, right? Then we have education loans, financial support for loans up to 10 lakh for higher education in domestic institutions. We are talking about the domestic institutions. So e-vouchers for annual interest subvention of 3% for 1 lakh students every year. So basically every year 1 lakh students will get an e-voucher of 3%. Basically government will be paying 3% of the interest rate, okay, so that the interest rate burden decreases. Higher education access, more educated and skilled workforce. Economic growth, higher education leads to higher productivity, higher efficiency, which leads to higher production, higher growth. Social mobility also. Now, social discrimination, more people, more youth who had a problem with money, we will be able to get more educated, which will help them climb the social ladder. Enable students from diverse backgrounds to access higher education, promoting social equity and mobility. Innovation and research, more students in higher education could lead to greater innovation and research output, right? So just imagine, by just allocating certain funds in the right area, what is the government trying to do? Create more employment, create more job creations, fill the gap between the skills and the industrial demand, help the women participate in the labor force, right, so that they can become more economically independent and also more empowered, right? Help people from different social backgrounds to climb up the social ladder, right? Create more equal environment, inclusive development, right? So just imagine how many goals we can achieve with a very targeted and very properly planned budget. Now, how will this become successful? Only if it is implemented properly and efficiently, and everything is done as we have decided. Okay everyone, so this was our second priority. Tomorrow we will learn about inclusive human resource development and social justice, which is our third priority of the budget. I hope this helps you. Thank you so much and have a nice day.